Hey co-stars, welcome to another episode of Generation Films. My name is British Ben, and since so many people seem to like our 5 rare Starfleet ship designs in Star Trek episode, or maybe you didn't like it, but you just want more.
I hate this. It is revolting.
More?
Please.
Switch on your emotion chips because I've decided to do another one. This is 5 rare Starfleet ship designs in Star Trek Part 2. We'll be covering those ships that only appear fleetingly on the screen and some that don't appear at all in the show but are seen in video games or on screens at the very back of the bridge in the movies. Number 1, Saladin class. This is one of those super lame ships with only one warp nacelle. We covered the USS Firebrand, also one of those ships, in our 10 ugliest ships in Star Trek video.
It is revolting.
Well, this is a similar design, but from the original series movie era. The USS Saladin featured a Constitution-class style saucer with just one warp nacelle and no engineering section. And they had to deal with the problem of where to put the deflector dish since there was no engineering section, so they just bolted it to the outside of the hull. The design actually comes from the Starfleet technical manual written by Franz Joseph. The ship is supposedly a Saladin-class destroyer with the USS Saladin as the prototype. It differs from the very similar-looking Hermes-class scout ship in that it has a heavier armament, 3 phaser banks and 2 photon torpedo launchers. We only ever see it on screen in some background screens on the Enterprise bridge in The Wrath of Khan and The Search for Spock. And yeah, sorry guys, I know that's hard to make out, but it's a freeze frame from a tiny background section of a quite old movie. But it has been confirmed by Rick Sternbach that that is indeed the Saladin class from the Starfleet technical manual. Number 2, Cheyenne class. Obviously named after Cheyenne Mountain, a place where pre-warp 21st century space explorers used an ancient stargate to explore the galaxy. The Cheyenne class was a kit bash, which means using parts from existing model kits to create something new rather than spending a lot of money to have something completely custom designed and made. It was created for the Starship Graveyard scene in Best of Both Worlds Part 2. Look, there it is. The ship had 4 warp nacelles which were actually made from commercially available marker pens painted grey. Look, you can see the lid here and the pen behind it. The bridge module is an Enterprise bridge and the saucer is a scaled down Galaxy class, so the bridge looks a bit bigger than it really should do. And it appears that it could separate as well. Look, there's a line there. According to the official Starships collection, the Cheyenne class had a crew of 320 and was capable of warp 9.6. I mean, you'd think it could go fast with 4 warp engines. Number 3, USS Dauntless. Now I might get some hate for this one because it isn't actually a Starfleet ship design, but instead a fake Starfleet ship.
It's fake, phony, fake.
But maybe not completely fake, because in an alternate timeline in the 26th century, we do actually see a Dauntless class ship participating in a battle outside the window of the Enterprise J. You really have to slow down the footage to make it out. But personally, I think they just used the Dauntless class CGI model in the background so that they didn't have to create anything new. Kind of like the 21st century version of kit bashing. I mean, you can hardly make it out anyway unless you go frame by frame. Kind of like how they used the Millennium Falcon model in the background of the Battle of Sector 001 in First Contact. But anyway, let's go back to the fake one. So this fake USS Dauntless was created by an alien who blamed Janeway for the destruction of his world by the Borg because Janeway and the Voyager crew helped the Borg defeat Species 8472, and it was Species 8472 that was occupying the Borg's time so that they didn't attack his planet. So his plan was to get Voyager's crew to abandon their ship and board the Dauntless, thinking that they could make it to Earth because the ship has quantum slipstream drive. But when he is discovered, he then goes and kidnaps Janeway and 7 of 9 and tries to deliver them to the Borg. And obviously they fight back, but I won't spoil the episode for you. The ship was very minimalistic in design. It appears to have 7 decks, a bridge that looks like an Apple store, only 1 transporter, no replicators or holodecks, and probably no yoga studios either.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous that someone would design such a minimalist starship, but kind of believable at the same time because in theory the ship was really just a shuttle to carry the crew back to the Alpha Quadrant, so it didn't really need any luxuries. They were only going to be on it for 3 months and it was really just designed around the quantum slipstream drive. The ship's Starfleet image was created with particle synthesis, but underneath it was still just an alien vessel. The quantum slipstream drive, however, was real, and Voyager was able to use some of the technology to take 300 light years off their journey home. Number 4, New Orleans class. Alright, crack out your highlighter pens because we've got another kit bash for you. Like this one literally has highlighter pens just stuck to the top of the saucer section. I think they're supposed to house sensor pods. I thought it would be cooler if they were torpedo launchers. And in an EagleMoss 3D model, we see that there is indeed another highlighter pen, sensor pod, on the bottom of the engineering hull. But those sensor pods didn't help the New Orleans class. You should have installed torpedo launchers, guys, because the only one that we see in the show was disabled at the Battle of Wolf 359, and we see it in the Starship graveyard in the Best of Both Worlds. That's why the model is all messed up with scorch marks on the hull. The New Orleans class is 340 meters long, which makes it about half the size of a Galaxy-class starship like the Enterprise. They also made the windows larger on the model so that you could really get that idea that this is a smaller ship. All right, guys, now let's move on to our 5th and final rare Starfleet ship design in Star Trek, and this is a good one. Number 5, the Khitomer class. So in Star Trek Online, there is a new alliance formed in the Alpha Quadrant between Starfleet, the Federation, and the Klingons, and also the Romulans, and it's called the Khitomer Alliance, obviously named after the Khitomer Accords, the original treaty between the Federation and the Klingons in Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. This alliance makes way for new starship designs, one of which is the Khitomer-class battlecruiser, the prototype of which is launched in 2411. The ship has the basic shape of a D7 battlecruiser or Katinga-class battlecruiser that we see in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, but with a Starfleet-style saucer section in the front, although it does have a section cut out for more of a hammerhead look. And some of the Starfleet features, for example, the color is glossy white, the escape pods are notably the same as on the Enterprise E, that triangular shape. The ship features a logo that is a cross between the Starfleet Delta and the Klingon symbol, which is actually the symbol of the Khitomer Alliance. The Romulans are probably a bit put out that they're not represented. The concept art was designed by Hector Ortiz, and he said in an interview that it's not easy to create a combined ship, since Klingon ships typically have sharp angles and Federation ships are all about the curves. That's why he added a cutout from the saucer for that hammerhead look that we see on the Katinga. This is EagleMoss's model of the Khitomer class that you can buy if you're a total geek like me. Alright guys, that's our video for today. 5 more rare Starfleet ship designs in Star Trek. Which one is your favorite? Please leave your comments below. And if you want to do what we do, talk about fictional spaceships and get paid for doing it on YouTube, you gotta check out our new course, YouTube Viral Mastery. It's a course on how my business partner and I have built 9 YouTube channels with over 2 million subscribers. It's been a heck of a ride, thanks to you guys. So if you're an aspiring YouTuber, as a free preview to the course, just click below and check out our masterclass on how to start a 6-figure YouTube channel without making all the stupid mistakes we've made along the way. Interested? Check out the details below. Alright guys, please give this video a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.